Ray and nos INSK. Now this program well body na gently. Mr. Coco Pandorami
So you not go say, oh, that person the way he get that cancer now this then do. That means say if me they can't tell me say they get cancer, that means na then they get for do. It not necessarily means so. Because I know say some people and they get this big fear, especially now we culture. I don't hear this over and over. Hey, chemotherapy. This we say get cancer, they give chemotherapy, they die. But then they not to true, and not necessarily true, because the treatments are different. And just because somebody else die where they get chemotherapy, you don't know how far that then cancer be don't go before they diagnose her. And you don't know which kind of chemotherapy and what's gonna be the intention for that chemotherapy day. So in general, cancer treatment, it can involve surgery where we say they go cut the tumor, come out and pull and accommodate. You don't get rid of the cancer. Radiation therapy, whether they use special X-ray then for burn and kill the cancer cells and outside and they. And then you get what we call systemic treatment and another treatment whether they put inside your body when not through injection or not through tablets then for treat the cancer wherever it is inside the body. So now the chemotherapy na part of them systemic treatments and but other treatments and there's some then are hormone then that they use for treat. They will get other newer medication the way they call targeted biologic. They when like you can think of as smart medicine because beaucoup the bad name way chemotherapy can get is it not only they kill the cancer cell, it can also kill healthy cells. So beaucoup the side effects of people then they get now from Dandy. But some the newer medicine, they call targeted biologic there. They go and target specifically the abnormal cell and left the normal cell. So they get much less side effects then. The main goal for cancer treatment now for cure the cancer. So the cancer doctor then focus now for give every treatment way available and way they know say go work for try for kill every cancer cell where they in the person body if possible. And the other aspect of the quality of life of the person, because sometimes and they every treatment were available the person not go able for deal with the side effects. So quality of life itself important. And sometimes and they by the time that they don't find the cancer, it's not possible for me to cure this cancer. It don't spread already. It don't already cause too much problem. So by that time they can the treatment and the goal now what we call palliation. Within a palliation now treatment will be say the focus now for help reduce the symptom then with the sick they cause. Also for cure the cancer. Now for reduce the sick. So if the cancer they push some parts of your body where it be say they cause pain, then they might give you, say example, radiation for shrink the tumor so that it not go cause pain. It not go kill all the tumor, it not go kill all the cancer, but it go reduce the pain. The goal now for reduce the symptom then for palliation so that it go improve the quality of life of the person and infamble them where they help for take care of them. So within at the top 5 cancer then within at the world, the top 5 cancer the way that they diagnose new one they diagnose people then every year. Now then they in blue. So breast cancer number 1, lung cancer, colon and rectal cancer, prostate cancer, and then skin cancer. But the one then the cancer then the top 5 way deadly will be saying are the more likely for kill person. Number 1 na lung cancer. Number 2 na colon and rectal. Number 3 na liver cancer. Number 4 na stomach cancer. And then number 5 na breast. So you see some of the deadly one they're not even they pan the common, the top 5 common, but where then camper you, they're more deadly. So I get a series of video then we will go talk about each and every one of them cancer. So and even some other one that we not make the top 5 list. But we common and boku na now we country among the people there. So una stay tuned for me una the for watch and learn more about their individual cancer than they. So now we can give a bit of highlights, just touch small number on each of them cancer then. Breast cancer. People that can think breast cancer in woman, but breast cancer also woman, then man themselves can get breast cancer. As common, but a more common per woman there. And then the number 1 cancer than the way they diagnose now the world per woman. Then number 5 where they cause death. The good news is more and more women then they survive breast cancer than before. So even though it didn't at the top for new cancer, then it don't they go down by the deadly cancer then. And women they way old past 50 and over then risk higher than younger women then. Not for say young women they know they get cancer. Young women they can get cancer, and unfortunately, where young woman gets cancer, plus where they under 15, they're more likely to get the more deadly form of cancer. And different in the way they increase the risk for male woman gets cancer, and we will talk about all the different risks then, starting from the age of the woman all the way down to, exposure to certain medicine, then hormone, then, and people that will be don't get radiation at their chest, where all that they can increase their risk for breast cancer. And then the next way we could talk about now waiting at then symptom here. So for breast cancer, common symptom now where woman find lump na in breast or na in armpits. Because waiting about people that don't know, your breast tissue it go all the way under your hand. So if you find lump under the hand or lump na the bobby, then they na something where they need for check out. Sometimes they na because of infection, sometimes then they, some women they can get lump then go to cancer, but most commonly, na so it can start. So, or if the bobby all of a sudden, they look normal, the skin and the bobby, they look thick, the nipple where it's supposed for tinap na do, all of a sudden the nipple, they go inside, or the skin and the bobby, they look, red and they peel. All that they can be symptom then of cancer. And cancer now one way we say we get good screening test for pick and up early. They call that the mammogram. Mammogram na special X-ray the way that they do now the woman in bobby for pick then lump then abnormal in tissue na the breast even before you feel the lump self. And usually woman over the age of 40 now then we recommend say therefore start for the screen with mammogram every year for check for breast cancer between the age of 40 and 50 years. And then the next cancer I will touch on are lung cancer. Lung cancer na other big one and a deadly cancer. The number one deadly cancer, both man and woman there. There was a time when a more man they die from lung cancer. But now as woman then they smoke just as much as man there and the exposure then self they die just like man there from lung cancer. Cigarettes na the number one cause for lung cancer. Now it not mean say because the people like you always start with this argument where where you talk about cigarettes they cause lung cancer. Oh, but I know this person will smoke for 50 years and it say he die get lung cancer. And I know this other person one day not touch cigarettes, they get lung cancer. That not true. All that they can happen. It not mean say where I say cigarettes are the number one cause. It not mean say every single person will smoke cigarettes go get lung cancer. And it not mean for say if you not ever smoke, you not can get lung cancer. Certain lung cancer then where they happen by people and we not they smoke cigarettes. But what we know is if you smoke cigarettes, you don't really increase your chance for get lung cancer. And the longer you smoke, the more the chance they increase. So it's like you go dodge and this time, but the more you continue, you likely not go for dodger. And besides, lung cancer, but other cancer, then they will cigarettes, they cause, and we can talk about that by the other video there, so they talk about the other one. And other thing, and then besides cigarettes, where they cause lung cancer, other pollution, then the environment as I don't talk about from diesel exhaust. And the one the way they na the mining field, then them think the way that they mine that dust, they not wear the proper protective gear then they all can contribute to cancer. People the way they na certain field where that they work with leather, so then dye the way that they use, where they inhale all that they want the way they then welding type of business and all then thing. And they now the Western world and they don't put rules then in place for wear protective gear, so special mask then, special face covering, then gloves then, so that then chemical then they go breathe then inside your body, they not go inside you and cause cancer. But unfortunately, now then third world country the way, but could them factory then way they don't they move go they not necessarily they put then checks and balance then so it they increase people then risk then for get cancer from then exposure then and bokutin and then now with food and with water we will not even know about it, where all they contribute to some of them cancer, including lung cancer. And so in terms of symptoms, the unfortunate thing is boku people are not they get symptom then of lung cancer until the cancer don't advance. But if symptom then begin they develop, what's not then symptom, then they come around and cough with all of a sudden this cough here, so we know they go. If you send a cold, but still 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, is still they cough. Chest pain, unusual chest pain, they cough blood, it can be TB, it can be other infection, but it can also be cancer. They lose weight, even though you're not getting good easy. But are they eat well? How come are they lose weight? They get trouble for breathe, or you tire all the time, no matter how much you sleep, even if you not go work, you still they feel tired. All that then can be symptoms there. It not means if you get them symptom, then in a lung cancer you get, but if you get them symptom, then and especially also if you smoke, you need for go get checked up. Even if you know the smoke, go, professional medical person check you for make sure say also lung cancer or other serious thing they happen. And in the Western world now they get screening tests for lung cancer. Where relatively recent way they don't begin to do, where they don't show say CT scan, a specific type of CT scan with very low dose of radiation. Now a good way than they for pick up then early spots then at the long way, at the beginnings of lung cancer, and they save boku people in life there. So people in way they smoke, we don't smoke up to 20 pack cigarettes now in life, and we still they smoke or they just stop smoke the past 15 years. Now them they are their highest risk category, the way they recommend if you over the age of 50, for me you start for screen for lung cancer. And then the next one I'll go touch on are colon and rectal cancer. So, colon and rectal, the colon now, usai the you stool now they the toilets they form inside your body where you don't eat, it digests now the belly, they go down, then now they the stool they form, and then you pull and come out through the rectum. So that area they can form cancer. Now not a big cancer than the older person they get, the more in risk for get colon and rectal cancer. But people that we get other certain sick then, other kind what we call inflammatory bowel disease then, like Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, then get increased risk for get colon cancer. Also, they get certain people that we get some genetic condition where it run at them family, they get them gene, then they will be say that it's on cancer. But besides that, they waiting for the average person and waiting at the thing then where they increase the risk for be overweight. Not they exercise regularly. They eat food then we not too healthy. So food that we get boku fat, we not get enough fiber, and they eat boku processed food. Then they drink too much alcohol or they smoke cigarettes, and but probably other thing then way down they go inside with food then. Where we not even know, but all that they can contribute to colon and rectal, and all this will go in more detail when on the video on colon and rectal cancer. Boku screening test then day for colon and rectal cancer. Well, in terms of symptoms there, the big symptom there, if you get a change in your bowel habits there, so all of a sudden you get this bad constipation where blunt get. Also occasional no more, but no matter what you do, you go boku days then without going to bathroom, or you they get unusual diarrhea, no matter what you eat or eat, you they get diarrhea, or you notice blood now you stool, or you feel like even though where you go in a bathroom, you feel like you want for go where you go, even after you don't go, you feel like say some stool still left inside you. All that they can be worrisome symptom there where you need for med, you go get checked. Or if you they lose weight for no good reason, you need for go med and go check you and make sure say auto colon cancer. The other one where we go talk about now prostate cancer. So prostate cancer na cancer for man them, because man then then get prostate. Another common one, the good news for prostate cancer, it not really they kill that much. Most people that will get prostate cancer now other thing, they go die from other thing to the prostate cancer. But certain group of man then they will be safe. Then get prostate cancer, they more likely forget the bad one, will go kill them. And unfortunately, black man, especially black man, they will come out Africa, and also especially, for some reason we will not fully understand around West Africa area, man then from where then people then come out West Africa. For some reason, if they get prostate cancer, they're more likely forget the bad one, the one we can spread and kill. And then other man then they will get certain genetic problem then with like one we then call BRCA, BRCA gene mutation. We then also get high risk for get the more deadly prostate cancer. The symptom there for prostate cancer, for man then they get trouble for peace, or they might notice blood na then peace, or they might notice blood na then where they ejaculate, they can notice blood there, or they get pain where ejaculate, or you get pain na na the downside, you back, you hip, then you waist bone, just you say they can talk man they not blunt get waist bone pain. Waist bone pain na woman complain that day. So if man begin to get waist bone pain, you need for worry about that day. Unfortunately, no good screening test no day for peak prostate cancer early. The best we'll get now a blood test where they call PSA, where they can use for screen certain man there, especially if they get high risk, forget the bad type of prostate cancer, they will recommend say then do that test day as a way for screen. And then they, also the best test, it can still miss prostate cancer, but for the one that we get the highest risk, it worth for me then do that testing. And then the last one we'll go talk about now, skin cancer. So people against skin cancer now that how people can think so, skin cancer now with man business, black man they know they get skin cancer. Well, in the Western world, then like the US, skin cancer now the number one cancer where they diagnose. Now UK now number the 3 cancer than the way that they diagnose. 3 different types skin cancer. Then the most deadly one are the what they call melanoma. And the one down the way can spread go now other parts of the body and kill, it can spread go now people and brain, then liver, all different parts there. They begin at the skin and spread go other parts there. And black people then can get skin cancer. And unfortunately, because we not really can they think about skin cancer as a disease or sick for black people, then by the time black people then people that can notice and then diagnose, then it can too late. And unfortunately, now then deadly one then where it be say it go cause problem. And true story, I don't know if but people they know that this one, Bob Marley na skin cancer na in killer. It began melanoma. It begin pan sports na in toenail. If you say na like where they play football or soccer, na acting so that if you say na that black spot, so you're not taken serious in the beginning until by the time where they really diagnose her, it don't spread and at the end be end up for killer. So just for me to know say yes, black man then can die from skin cancer. In general, people that we get light skin, now they more get increased risk for skin cancer. So then they can make who can think so with man then because now they get the lightest color skin there. But other people then they, even though their skin they're not that light, then still can get skin cancer. But among black people, so we all get different shade of black. The lighter you shade of black, the more you risk than the one we get to the darker shade of black. And also, where I can think about this way, people that win albino, the way na a medical problem where they get where they skin them white. So albino then get very, very high risk for skin cancer. So they need for take extra protection, and the people and the we need for really they watch and screen for skin cancer. Also, if people and then your family way get skin cancer, then that's something way you need for pay attention to. And as people they get older, then things also can crop up because of over many years of exposure to sun and other things that way they damage the skin, we can trigger skin cancer. The symptom there, it be different, but in general, if you notice change in your skin, a new growth, a new sore, remember I say you cut yourself some side, but you see so they well. You be getting a mold, then now all of a sudden this mold they look different, it big, they change color, then they can be sign of skin cancer. Skin cancer then can look different by different people. All skin cancer look the same. So it asks for me able for tell you one exact way. But this are just kits in the normal way. Change then now you skin way. You need so you know for know yourself. You notice certain change, then you need for me somebody check them out. Unfortunately, no specific screening or day for skin cancer. But the one they will get a history of skin cancer or what I don't talk say get very, very high risk. Then people then they work for me and see skin specialists where they do, check them, basically examine their skin using like magnifying glass for look for any kind of suspicious mold them. Then call down the total body examination. For the one that we at highest risk. If you get question then una can send to question then on our Facebook page, on Twitter, on Instagram, or even email we na wellbodysalon@gmail.com. Again, this is Dr. Mafudia. Thank you for watching the video. Stay tuned for our next video.